So we are live for our first ever business energetics session. And right here today, we have myself, Sean, and Chris Matt and Andrea. Would you ladies like to introduce yourself for our first session?
I do a short introduction.
Sure.
Hi, my name is Andrea. Happy to be here. This topic, business energetics, is new to me. And yeah, I'm here to learn as well. Yeah.
And Chris Matt, what about yourself?
Am I Jam? It seems like I am Jam.
Nope, I can
Okay.
hear you and see you.
Okay, hi, I'm Chris Matt. I'm here to talk about some energetic leadership within the business and how you are able to expand your business. Okay. John, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Sean. I run a business called The Complete CEO, teaching people how to monetize their crafts and passions and skills and take it online. And the whole reason we were inspired to do this session is actually between the three of ourselves, we have been doing a lot of work on the energy side of things for the last few years with Chris Mark actually being our teacher from here in Singapore. So we have the privilege of meeting up with Chris Matt every week. And one of the things we always talk about is the energy inside all kinds of things in your business, in your company, in your life. And I figured for today's session, we will zoom in a little bit on the energy of a business, and more specifically, the energy of a leader. And before we zoom into the energy of a leader, let's talk about what does this word business energetic means? Because in the recent years, I've noticed this term actually coming up a lot in our space, and it seems like it's starting to become a thing. And I remember you saying this once before, Chris Matt, that everything is energy and it's flow. So would you like to elaborate a little bit on this sentence?
Okay, everything is energy, even non-living things like a table. When you hit it, there's vibration. So which means there's energy in it, right? And the business energetic or the business energy, it has been there for centuries, millenniums, even in the older age. I believe everyone have heard about feng shui. Feng shui is all about energy. So when businesses they like, or rather the bosses or the business owner, they would love to have a feng shui master to go and look at their locations and what is the best locations for their businesses. I believe everyone have that experience, right? And even our shopping mall in Singapore, most of them also look at feng shui, and that is the business energy or the energy for the business, and how feng shui helps them to align the ground energy or the energy surrounding that this shopping mall to improve the or smoothen the flow of energy, because when the flow is smooth and nice, the business actually will comes in and the business will flourish. But if there's any blockage, it's just like the drain, there's some blockage, foul smell will come out, pests will come. So all the undesired things will happen when the business have blockage. So that is usually the business energetics. That's what we meant. Feng Shui, actually everyone's will know about it, right?
Yes, and I believe especially in the Asian context, a lot of business owners are quite aware and particular of their feng shui for their business. And so it's not exactly a very new concept. I think it's just a modern words on something that has been around for a very long time. And I actually got a ChatGPT to prescribe a workable definition of the term
Mhm.
business energetics.
Energetics. Okay.
And it gave me something really good, I feel. It said the practice of infusing our work environment and business operations. So there's the space in our business. If you have physical space or physical office, your desk, your company, or even maybe your digital spaces, like this right now, our Zoom, and business operations. So it seems the energy can also enter our operations with positive energy flows, aligning personal energy. Oh, wait. Then, Andrea, do you want to stream again onto Chris Matt's profile? Then I'll stop mine.
I think it's okay to continue. I will just share the link across the other pages, also
Okay.
on Chris Matt's profile.
Okay. With business goals to foster both success and holistic well-being. So I think this topic first came to us when we would used to consult Chris Matt on problems in our own business and life. And one thing she always mention is the energy of the business or the energy of the program that you're selling. Or a lot of times it actually goes back to the energy of the leader. So before we talk about the energy of a leader, would you like to share a little bit on how this idea came to your mind? Like, was it an insight or did you have some understandings on? Because at that time for us, it's like, oh, we got to build this system. We got to have this funnel. We got to have all these physical or digital things. And sometimes it will work, sometimes it wouldn't work. And then when we bring this question to Chris March, she will say that, oh, have you thought about what is the energy here? What is the energy? And if it's your first time, like you've been dealing with funnels and ads and all the technical stuff for a long time, and then the first time someone tells you this word energy, it can be quite a foreign or interesting concept to wrap your head around. So can you walk us through the bridge between all this technical stuff that businesses try to build, right? It's like more and more things. But then how did energy come into this thing for you?
Energy is okay. Energy is something like magnets. So the things that you want to attract, so you have to put the correct magnets there to attract the energy, right? So if you want your funnels to work, and there is maybe some colors in your funnels that you are using that is actually a blockage that actually blocks the energy flows, right? Energy is just like water. It flows wherever there is smooth or there's no blockage. But when there is a blockage, energy don't flows. Water don't flows. So when it don't flows, where will there be anything going into your funnel? It might not. Maybe your funnel is blocked in some way. Okay, so the energy, since everything is energy, um, even like the firewall also have energy in it, right? The digital marketing and all those. So if the energy have a blockage, maybe by the color that you use, that don't match your own energy, the business energy and your energy must match together, must flow, right? If it don't flow, then where will your income comes? So the energy is a bit hard to explain. It's just like oxygen. When there's oxygen, we breathe and we live. We need that. So energy is something that is not there, yet it is evident that it is there because problems keep arising and there's no solution to it in the physical realm, like no matter what you do. So by changing some, maybe a little colors in your life, you can actually get the energy flowing. The energy, what I meant here is more of it's something like the yin and yang. When there's yin, there's yang. It's where feng shui actually builds on also. The energy flows. How should I explain it in a way? It might be like you having like you going to overseas trying to use the direct electricity, the direct sockets into your device, yet your device need a transformer, right? So you put without the transformer, you can't. So there is like a blockage of energy. But with the transformer, you are able to maybe charge up or to light up, to start up, to boot up your computer. So energy is something like having using the or rather matching the correct energy. It's like using a transformer to transform the direct electricity supply into your device. So can that be understood?
Yeah, and I find it really interesting from the insights from an energy coach and for someone like myself who has been very technical, going like I build my own landing pages, I write my own copy, I do all my own funnels, I do everything my own business. And I remember initially you also had this definition when we say energy, it can mean our thoughts, our feelings, our actions combined, or even including our result itself combined, we can just say, okay, this is the so-called energy. And if we look at energy from this definition, our thoughts, our actions, and feelings, and the whole thing about our energy between the creator being aligned with the work that we do, I actually experience all the time firsthand when my so-called energy is aligned and my pages perform and my content perform, and then like people can read my work and feel that, yeah, it's like it's aligned, there's value for me. So it's like the thoughts, the feelings, the actions coming out of a business, it actually matches the thoughts, the feelings, and actions of what the market wants. So then the flow happens. Because sometimes I know when, how come nobody is downloading my books or no one's watching my videos, and I know that, okay, maybe there's a misalignment between my thoughts, actions, and feelings with the thoughts and action and feelings of the market. And so the mismatch creates a lack of relevance. Can I say that?
Yes. Yes, that's what I mean. Is like a mismatch of the energy voltage like this if one is out, right? Sometimes you can feel very good about your thoughts, your actions, but that might not be what the market wants. So there's no merge of energy, the energy don't flows.
And so I guess one more question before we start talking about the leadership aspect is, since now we have defined this term, business energetics, and we have also defined what energy means and why the alignment between a business and the market is important. My question is more of a what comes first kind of thing, or rather, what is the what that comes first? Because sometimes I think, like, for people like myself, in creators in a digital space, we're always thinking about what to create first. And when we put in so much effort in that, sometimes our energy actually goes off. Maybe we work too hard to create it, or maybe we end up burnout or comparing or not understanding how to do it, getting confused, and then the energy goes off. So do you think it's more a case of I got to get my energy right first, then I produce my work, or I produce my work and then I get my energy right, or is it a concurrent thing?
It's usually a concurrent thing. Because your energy actually comes from your thoughts first, then from thoughts to action, or rather thoughts, feeling, actions, because you got to feel good before you do it, right? So it should come in concurrent, because when thoughts, you feel good, when action comes out, it might not be as good as the thoughts the feeling that you have for the thoughts. So you actually have to change your action a bit. Okay. But sometimes while you're changing the actions, you might also need to change your thoughts. So actually it's concurrent, because it's how you feel about the energy flows. Whether while you're working on it, whether the energy flows smoothly or there's any blockage. Right. So
So since it is concurrent,
mm,
does it mean that we have to be very conscious? Because, for example, I had a good start. Like, I have friends who are searching for jobs. I have friends who want to perform better in sales. I have friends who run their own businesses. And it seems like at the start, they have a great start to their energy. It's like, I want to do this well.
mm,
And so they start, right? And after they start, like in life, we will meet with some obstacles. And then that's when the energy completely goes down and they're not aware of that. So since it's concurrent, we actually have to be very aware and conscious right there. Okay, I've met with some blocks, but it's not the end of the world. And there are still ways that I can very consciously raise or protect my energy so that I continue to stay in the flow. Can I say that?
yes, yes. And if you are, we not only that we must be conscious about how the flow of energy is, because for not everyone is conscious, I would say. It's not everyone is very is easy to observe energy, not that, right? So we must be very alert on our surroundings or alert on our situation, is that when there is any blockage, things don't works well for us. So when things don't work well for us, if we are able to turn inward, what I mean by inward is that if you are able to not point fingers at any other people, but to turn inward and say that, hey, where is my energy stand now? Or where is this situation's energy stands now? Am I able to
Wow.
align it? If you are able to align it, it will flows again. It will not be any
Wow.
blockage. So we not only that we must be conscious about the flow of energy, we must also be alert with what is going on around us. Sometimes the energy flows is not due to, maybe not due to you, not due to me, not due to our personal energy or the business energy, but the environment energy, like the stock market energy. There's a lot of things going on in the stock market, this and that. Our businesses or our personal energy might be affected also. So we must be alert and conscious on that.
So what would you say to someone who has, let's say, started well, they're going on a job hunt or their business is going well initially, and then the first block they meet
Mm,
is like, oh, I didn't get that job, or I'm not getting the response I want from the people I love and care about, or I'm not able to change certain things. So at this point, what would you say to them? Like, they need to be very conscious of, you said, where their energy stand.
Okay, then firstly you must see what is the block that is there. Is it the environment? Is it the business? Or is it you? What I meant by the environment is more of like what is going on around the world. Okay, that we cannot change, but however, we are able to change our own energy to flow with the environmental energy. Okay, so that it flows again. Okay, the next one is the situations. Okay, the problem or the events that we encounter. Okay, does that energy suits me? Like, for example, you are looking for a job.
Mm.
Okay, you can send your resume to a lot of companies, but which company will hire you, or which company even to go for the first interview, then the second interview, then to um signing of the contract, right? If you want to, when we are looking for outside, for example, like the event, and if you want to work our way into the event, into the job, or into the environment, into the market, okay, we change our energy first. Okay, we look inwards to see whether our energies are aligned. A lot of times our energy within ourselves is not aligned. Not aligned, what I mean by that, when you are frustrated, when you are angry, when you are worried, all these are not aligned energy.
Mm.
So if you are able to calm yourself down and align your own energy, we can easily align together with the event energy and the environmental energy.
Wow.
Right? When you are worried, all our internal energies are not aligned. So the easiest way actually to see where the blockage is actually you yourself, because that is the first point that, and it's easy to access. We don't need to really access to the event or to the environmental. Just within our own self, the energy, if we are aligned, the energy flows and attracts aligned energy. That is also
Wow.
the law of attraction.
So it actually starts with ourselves.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, amazing answer. So let's talk about energetic leadership. And
Mm.
I remember the first time we talked about this, I believe it was probably a couple of years ago when I was still setting and closing for other businesses. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I would work really hard to sell the products. But then I remember this once you told me, you say that, hey, if you are, a salesperson and you're doing sales, it's like, I forgot what's the percentage, but it's like, I don't know, 20% or something is like you, but like a huge majority of what the audience or the market will feel, a
Mm.
lot of it is always going to stem from the founder or the creator or like the main leader of the business. So,
Yes.
so why does the leader or the founder or the creator uh, has such a big impact on the energy of like his stuff, his products, his audience, his content? Like, why does it have such a big impact?
Okay. If you are talking about you as an entrepreneur, you as a proprietorship, right? Whatever you do, it will just come from you. You are the initiator. So if the initiator energy in the very beginning is not aligned in himself, the business will also want not align with it. Okay, it's just like you have a pipe. Okay, you have a pipe system. If one part of your pipe system is out, the water will not flow. So energy is the same. We also have an energetic pipe. So once our energetic pipe within ourselves is smooth, is nicely fixed, right? No holes, no gaps, everything nicely fits. The water will not leak out. The water flows very nicely. So it comes out from us, the product. Okay, that product carries your energy. Okay, if your energy in the very beginning is already not right, your pipes there's already leakage. How bad will the leakage be by the time your product is out? So your energy actually affects your product. It affects your final products as well as your final decisions. Right? Then that makes you that's why energy from you to the products or from you to the business is so important. Okay, even if you are a company employee, okay, you say, the product, not my decision, right? But however, you are the one who come up with the marketing plan. You are the one to come up like which customers that you should approach to sell if you're doing direct sales. That is your own energy. If your energy keeps saying that, this person don't look like they want to buy my product, then you will miss that person, and the person will miss the product also. And so here is the a misalignment on the energy. If you yourself knows what you want to sell and you know how to approach another person, then the energy is aligned. You might meet very nasty person, but then sometimes the most nasty person that you met actually you get the most sales from, right? So the energy that is from you to the product, it must match, and like it flows. When it flows, what comes in, right? The income comes in. Does that answer your question, Sean?
Yeah, so that means once again, we are going back to starting with ourselves and
Yes.
the energy that flows from a leader out into his business and company. It's all going to stem from the creator understanding his own energy. And I think I've worked for several companies before starting my own business that it seems the influencer has or the business owner has a certain energy, and it really hits all of us doing sales for them. And since we have a photo of a lady here that really looks like Andrea, maybe Andrea can also share, because she has a lot of B2B corporate experience. And can you share with me the energy that you have seen from different leaders? How does it affect the companies that these leaders are responsible for?
I think from my B2B experience, based on what Sharon said, the business leader as an initiator and putting that intention of creating the the product. So when the product is out there, that's when the customer sees, right? The first thing that they know about companies through the product. And I think somehow they can see that, oh, this product is able to care for me. This product is, what does this product mean to me? And then they align with the energy. I can relate to that. I've seen that as well. About the business leader having a certain kind of energy. Sometimes if the business leader is not aware, or they might be, in businesses, things can happen from one month to another. And sometimes when the sales is, being the sales team, when sometimes the sales is not doing so well, right? Then you can sense that the business leader is starting to be a bit more harsh or pushing, and it actually affects the team's energy, right? I would say if the business leader is able to calm himself down and work out on the strategy and share the plan and inspire the team, or lead the team in where this plan is going to help bring us to a better place. I think that says a lot about good leadership, right? So I think even myself, when I lead a team, I have to be aware that, why is my team not performing in a certain month? So then I would actually rethink, oh, maybe this certain strategy, technique, or approach is very foreign for them, or they're not comfortable. And I have to actually work in a way where each of them understand, each of them have their style to approach their client. So I think it's more about understanding how each of the salesperson function. As a leader, leading a small team, that is one way I look at it. Yeah, so, and I think when Chris mentioned about the flow, it really puts in a better picture when the energy is aligned. It's like when either the water pipes are aligned, right? Then the flow is faster, and the flow can be very fast if we are all aligned in our energy. Yep.
Wow, fantastic answer. So we are 40 minutes in. Let's give our listeners a really raw, like concrete picture that they can wrap their minds around. Because Andrea and I used to be part of a team, and when we talk about the impact of a leader on his business, so the creator of that business was the person that Andrea and I was selling for. I think initially he had a great start. He had a great vision. So if I were to describe the energy on that team, I would say initially it was very comfortable. It was very enjoyable to be on the team. I love selling the products for him. And he was very supportive. I felt like he put his salespeople first. And then over time, the team grew as we made more revenue. The team grew in size and things started to change from there. But because we were still in it during that time, we couldn't process it. But now looking back, I can clearly see the energy shifting, especially towards the end, just before we left. The team was big, and this influencer now became very focused on chasing after sales. And it's a really funny thing because when the team was small, he was very giving. And then when the team started to make money, now he started to actually compare himself with other competitors, and then he wanted to chase after them. He wanted to copy their techniques, and he started to actually give us more pressure, more and more pressure. And I think good pressure is fine, but this one was like a little bit unhealthy. And so the energy of the team became so bad that all of us quit together. And for Christmas, how would you explain this I want to actually talk about the leader and
Mm,
all the roots of like such a scenario, because I believe I might not be the only one experiencing such a challenge in a business or in a career where the leader the leader's energy is really affecting you and getting to you. And I want to ask, when something is so difficult for the leader himself or herself, what are all these roots? Is it beliefs? Like, how was this leader one person at the start and then at the end he became a different person? Like, what are all these roots for such a change in energy?
okay, this is when he himself is not aligned yet. His own energy is not aligned yet he wants to force himself to flow into the event's energy, the situation's energy, where he wants to compete with his peers, or rather to flow together with his peers, be on par with his peers. Okay. And also trying to flow to the environmental energy. Like a lot of influencer is coming up and what they are doing, this and that. That is more of like environmental energy actually, and the peers energy is different. Okay, given the environmental energy comprises of much larger energy fields. Okay, and um your peers is just among your peers level. Okay, so when you yourself is not aligned, you're just like you're just like a disconnected pipes trying to get yourself fixed into a, or rather a different size pipes to fit into the situation. When the pipes don't fit, water start flowing, which means maybe your sales stop coming, there's some blockage and all those, you start to get anxiety, anxious, worried, sometimes even frustration. When all these things, you did not control it, or rather you did not um cleanse off this energy from yourself. What I meant by cleansing of this energy is to calm yourself down. Okay. Letting all this energy, acknowledge them. Don't let them rush you, force you. Okay. Because by the time this energy is accumulating too much, you will actually have this energy leaking out, or the worst is actually pouring out onto your staff, onto your subordinates. When that happens, your subordinates will think that, hey, I am not the rubbish dump for your emotions,
Mhm.
right? So, what would you feel when you felt that you are the rubbish dump for the emotions of your boss? You start to be unpleased also. You also start to be frustrated. So, whatever your boss is feeling, you might feel it. And when that happens, the only way a lot of people do is, I'll just go. Why should I be a rubbish dump for you? Okay, it might not be he himself, but what a lot of bosses will tell you is that this is what the environments, or this is what the situation have forced me to be in. But if you are align yourself, you know what you are going, and you yourself are clear in your goals, clear in your missions, I don't think so that the situations or the environmental should have an impact on you that much that you are diverted from your goals,
Yeah.
right? So once you are aligned within yourself, you are still focused on the goal, working towards it. And by doing, by aligning yourself, you are able to align to the situations, because you will be calm to see, hey, what is really going on, what is really not working. So you can actually realign the pipeline again.
I see. So since we have another image that looks like Andrea again here, Andrea, being a consultant yourself, can you also share how you've seen the leaders that you've worked with, the different variations when the leaders you've met have great energy, great intentions, they understand their energy well, and it flows well to the rest of the company. What did that look like? And conversely, when a leader, how should I put it, starts to have doubts or starts to lose track of their direction, then once again, how does this energy then spread over to the rest of the company? Like, what are some examples you've seen, both the good and the bad?
So myself, as a consultant, I do work with different companies. And I actually do observe teams that are being very successful. They actually have very open communication. So in order to have open communication, right, I think it's all credit to the leader being able to create a safe environment for them to voice out, right? So giving safe environment for them to voice out, where once they voice out and they have a problem on the table, and the leader actually sit down with them to talk it through and come up with a plan together to solve, versus teams that have the leader coming down at them, where you can see the team members, they don't dare to voice out any problems, right? And these are the teams that actually I would say it's not working synergistically with each other. Yeah, so I would say in the whole company, sometimes when we see different leaders behave differently in their teams, right? Most of the time it's not because they are very smart, right? They are very trained manager or having the right skill set. It's most of the time is because they are able to create an environment that is safe and they are willing to support the team members in the right way. That's when we can see some success. Personally, on my own, when I work with my team leaders, right, I think my own expectation for a superior of mine is quite high. This is my own personal opinion. So sometimes when I see that they make mistake or they need help with, right, initially I would actually be a bit more because I expect them more, so I'm a bit more critical when I look at them. But after learning about energy and all that, actually they are all human, right? Being able to if we want our bosses to support us, we also have to do the same and give the same kind of support back to the bosses. So I think it's both ways. It works both ways. It's not just being a leader. So let's say now if I am a junior consultant, right, and then I have a leader that might not be very aware about emotions, and then sometimes might be shaken by some external event or environment or some things going on at home, right? Me being a junior consultant, as long as I am aware about the situation, right, I can actually take charge. So I think this is what I have been learning in terms of being a leader in a business, even though many times not everyone might be open to energetics, not everyone is aware of energy. But once we are aware ourselves, then I think even though the business leader may not have the right tools or skills to be aware and align their energy, I think we ourselves are still being on our own path, I would say, protected and being on our own path as long as we are able to do the energy work for ourselves. Yeah, I think I share a bit too much.
Wow, fantastic answer. So it seems like the energy of a leader, it flows, it moves around in the business and impacts everything in the business from the way the leader thinks or his beliefs, how well is he maintaining his energetic pipes, the communication that flows out. And I feel like when this doesn't go well, either because they don't understand their energy or they are expressing themselves in ways that actually harming their own energy, what results, I believe, is what we can call energetic blockages. And let's talk a little bit about energetic blockages. Uh, for Christmas, how would you describe the different ways or the different types that energetic blockages can show up in our businesses or careers?
Mm. For businesses, it is actually quite simple to identify. Is that um maybe your income cannot go beyond a certain level, or your sales not coming in, or even there's a lot of commotions among the colleagues. These are in businesses is very easy to see. Okay, but however, in Korea is a bit I can't say hard to see, but we might be blinded by our own feelings, right? Like um sometimes even though we have promotions, however, sometimes promotions just increase of workload and not finances, right? Usually promotions comes with two, increase of workload as well as the finance have to increase also. The monetary um situations have to increase, right? Like your pay have to increase, or the staff welfare have to on the increased side, right? So for career wise, sometimes you also, I believe a lot of people felt this is that I've been in this business for maybe you are a salesperson, you are in sales for like 20, 30 years. I just felt that, hey, then what is my purpose here? Am I just here selling, or am I just here for a living, or there are some others, right? These are all the blockages. You just find that you are stagnant, don't know where to go. Okay, and also sometimes limiting beliefs. There's a lot of times that we don't believe that we can do it ourselves. Like uh, a lot of people can't believe that they can make maybe 20, 30K per month, right? All these are limiting beliefs. So wherever you think, or your beliefs stays, then that, because our belief should also grow as we grow. For example, when we are in elementary schools, we would want to go to secondary schools, right? The junior schools, junior high, all those, right? The high schools. So as we grow, our expectations should grow also. But are our beliefs growing also? So this is the next one. And there are a lot of blind spots. Like you might be, how should I say this? In Chinese, I know. In Chinese, it's called Wei Qu. Like you find that you are being taken advantage of, right? And this taken advantage of, there are some people who who thinks that hey, it's fine because they recompensate something, some other things, this and that. But the compensation might not be as much as you are being taken advantage of. So here is the blind spots. So when the blind spots, you don't see it, it actually grow bigger. It will grow bigger. By the time it grows, your energy will not be aligned. And all these are blockages. And there are some other things like um maybe you are just frustrated or burnt out in the job. When you're burnt out in the job, these are also different types of energetic blockages.
I see. And I think a big reason I wanted to talk about this is because I feel that for a lot of people who are in their business or their careers, sometimes we have done like our best. Sometimes we've done everything in our power to get the results we want. And I think at some point, maybe people start to suspect, like, is it really a skill problem? Like, am I not skilled enough? Is it really a experience problem? Do I not have enough experience? So then why is it that every time when I attempt to cross this line or overcome this barrier, I can't do it? So if working harder, faster, smarter isn't the answer, then what's the answer? Why am I on this plateau? So for business owners or professionals who they've achieved a lot and that it's not that they're doing badly, they're doing great, they're doing well. But
Mm.
like secretly, it's like I reached this point and what's the next level, or how do I get to the next level, or why am I stagnating? Or so what's happening here is that I'm thinking the root of it is there some kind of a void somewhere, or
When you felt that you have a void somewhere or your skills, the stagnant stage, when you have felt that you're at the stagnant stage, then you actually have to take a look like what is this blocks there is, right? These are what we call blind spots, right? Because this is in the physical, everything is in order. Okay, but there's always something we call energy because the energy don't flows. When there's stagnant, the energy don't flows. There's no energy in a stagnant block pond, right? Eventually, in a stagnant pond, the water actually will start to evaporate. Hmm. So all flows back to really, is there a blockage in the energy? Whether is it yours or even with your thoughts, is it correct? I can't say really correct, but is it in the flow of into your business? Because sometimes you're only taking from other people's experiences, your own past experiences. But are you into your own goals or mission or not? Some people actually took another person's goal to become their goal.
oh
And
wow.
that the goal don't flow your energy. When it don't flows your energy, it become misaligned, become unaligned, not aligned. Because it is not your own energy, it's another person's energy. But if you want that goal to be yourself, to be yours, that you want to grow this goal, then you have to actually input your energy into it. What do I mean by input the energy into it? Is that from another person's goal, you actually have to digest that goal and think about it. Okay, putting your own energy into the goal. Then the goal will be yours and it will flow. But if taking another person's goal, it will not work. So you must think about whether your goals, is it yours or is it another person's? You get what I mean here?
Yeah, I completely relate with the taking on another person's goal. I mean, I just talk about myself, speaking from experience. So for many years, in fact, many years ago, I taught martial arts here in Singapore, and I taught for so many years. I even had some students that learned from me, and then eventually they actually went out and started their own businesses, and they also have their own schools. And at that time, I didn't understand my own energy. So I would look at them and say, oh, they're more successful than me. And why can't I have that kind of success? Because I was the one that taught them. And so I would feel very demoralized, like I was the one that, taught them and I started first, but they're more successful, they have more students. And I felt this thing, the stagnation, the limiting belief, the blind spot. And to me, I just didn't know what was the solution. Like, do I train harder? Do I market more? Like, what's the breakthrough? So what I'm hearing from you is I actually have to not take their goals and, compare or whatever, but I have to, what?
Set your own goals.
Set
Like,
my own goals.
yes, you have to set your own goals. Because when you set your own goals, your energy flows into that goal.
Wow.
And you will have ideas on how to accomplish the goal and not follow other people's footsteps. Because when we take another person's goal, it's as if we are wearing their shoes. Their shoes might not be fit for me or you, right? So you might be walking with a small shoe, I might be walking with a big shoe. When that
Wow.
happens, what will come? Accidents will come,
Wow.
right? So we
Okay.
must have the goals for ourselves.
The goals for ourselves.
Mm.
So, two questions. What if I cannot let go? Like, I know I should focus on myself, but then when I look at other people having more success, and then I'm like, ah, why can't I have it? Or I can let go, but after I let go, I actually don't know what is the value in me that can continue to create the initial success that I had.
Mm. Okay, when you cannot let go, that will be worse. Okay, given that it's just like your arms are full of things. When you cannot let go, when the things, or rather some presence in front of you that is really meant for you instead of you taking from others, right? There are a presence in front of you. If you don't let go of things that you take from others, you can't receive this presence. This presence is yours and solely for you, and it's really meant for you. Okay, so that is a bit mm, silly if you don't want to let go. Okay. Another thing is after you let go, what is given in your hand now, you have to choose what is really good for you. For example, if you want to do a meal, okay, like do a dinner for another person, okay, you already let go. Your dishes or the ingredient of your dishes is right in front of you. Okay, so you now your hands are free to pick up any peelers, knives, spoons, chopper, or anything, any instruments that you need. Okay, so when your hands are free, you have to use more of your brain cells, given that you have to decide on the next step, or rather the instrument to use. You might know the next step, but you have to decide on the instrument. Like finals, there are different, I believe that there are different types of instruments for finals, right? So
Yeah.
which instruments actually will be better for your business, not for the final, yeah, but for the business that allows the final to work. So it is not what is the next step to take, but what is your instruments. Okay, we don't hold steps in our hand. The steps will come when you have the correct instruments in your hand.
So for all
And
the yes, please go ahead.
yeah, so and the instruments to choose, it really depends on really how you feel about it. Feeling good is your pipeline being in line. Feeling bad, your pipeline is not in line. Sean, you may continue.
Yeah, so for all the business owners and professionals watching this, let's say that they have sort of come to terms with their energetic blockages and they're able to say, well, I think that maybe I'm holding on to something, or maybe, I've been looking outward too much. And let's say they're able to let go and they're able to start looking within. And I find that a big message we have to share today is, in order for you to get into from blockage to flow, I think it's very important to actually know your own value and understand your own value and
Yes.
trust your own value. Like for salespeople, there's so many salespeople all over the world, right? You have to be able to not compare, not look outside, not chase after the wins other people have, and actually recognize your own skills and trust your own skills. For
Yes.
business owners, you also have to, not lose yourself comparing with your competitors, but same thing, look inside and understand what your value is and trust it, and really don't lose yourself looking at, this person maybe copied my work, or took my stuff, or is doing better than me. Because when you get lost in all this kind of chase and disharmony and dispute, I think it's just going to make the blockage even worse. So how would you guide someone to say, okay, now I'm ready to look within? I know I'm not going to do all those things. I want to look within. I want to understand my own value, but I don't see much. Then what should my thought process be like? How can I start to recognize my own value so that when I clear my blockages, I start flowing from inside, and then my income starts to flow in, I start to have harmony in my life, my business, my career can grow. But what is my first step?
The first step actually is to recognize yourself. Not only recognize yourself in the mirror. Okay, are you able to recognize your own self-worth? Okay, by recognizing your own self-worth, you will know where you really stand. And when you know where you really stand, you are able to show yourself. If you don't even know who you are, then how will people know who you are? And where is your self-worth? And where is your value in the company that you work with, or in your role as working adults?
Okay, so let's say the part about recognizing your value. Let's suppose I was an insurance agent and there are many insurance agents. Let's say that I'm a property agent and there are many property agents. Let's say I'm a marketer and there's so many marketers. How do I recognize my own value?
Then do you compare? Firstly, you don't compare yourself with another person. You don't compare yourself with another insurance agent or another property agent. Okay, by comparing yourself, you are putting another person right into you and compare.
Mm.
Okay, and that person's energy is not yours. Why should you take another person's energy to be on you? Right? No one will be doing better than you do than to know yourself. Being yourself, no one can do better job than you. Okay, and that is how we know our value, is that we do our job well enough to become ourselves. The job,
We
I
do
don't
our
mean,
job.
yeah, doing our job. It is not the job that is not our career, but do our job about being a better person for ourselves. Love us more. Loving ourselves more doesn't mean you go and pamper yourself um in good food, in good massage, all those things. No, that is not self-love. Self-love is you doing things that are good for yourself to grow. Okay. For example, if your businesses is not going well and you felt that maybe I should close this business and start another one. Okay. A lot of people actually would give up the idea about closing their business and start another one. Okay. But however, self-love tells you that yes, it will be good to end this business. Align yourself and start another one. Okay. That is self-love. That means you are doing things that is better for yourself. And that thing might not be a good thing to do. Like who would think that ending a business is a good thing to do? Right? So knowing your value is actually to start loving yourself. Even things that are bad, yet when you do it, it's good for you. Are you willing to do that? That is self-love. It is not just pampering yourself.
Mm. So just like when you love someone, you want what's best for them. So if that
Yes.
someone happens to be yourself, then you want what's best for yourself.
Yes.
So then you will not want to strain yourself by looking outwards, by comparing, but rather you want to just be grateful that you have all this value and just be appreciative of what you know your value is and start to grow a little bit more trust and confidence in your value.
Yourself.
And
Yes.
then from then on, it will actually flow out, right? Like, I mean, once you're able to make that shift, people will see that, oh, your stuff is pretty good.
Yes. Yes. You can't stop a light from shining. You can't
Oh,
stop a
wow.
star from shining. Right? A star is meant to be shined. A star is meant to be looked upon. Once you get yourself better, you are like a polished diamond. Everyone will see. And impossible that no one sees. It's impossible.
Okay, now we have reached the Q&A segment of our episode today. If you're watching this live with us right now, feel free to drop a thought, a question, or comment that we can help you with. And while I think we'll leave this on for maybe 2 or 3 minutes and see if we get any good questions from our viewers. If you're watching the replay, feel free to drop a comment as well, and then we will tend to it. I guess I will contribute the first question, which is, based on what I'm hearing so far to this session, it means that if I'm experiencing a so-called energetic blockage, like I've done my best, I cannot work any harder, I cannot work any smarter, I cannot work any longer, and I've reached that ceiling, it most probably is an energetic blockage. And if I repeatedly run into the same wall, whatever that wall is, but if you're watching this and you are repeatedly running into the same wall, what should be my SOP for looking at the wall, and then what am I going to do? Because I find that for a lot of even the people that I coach myself, sometimes I can see them running into the same wall, but I actually cannot pinpoint, how do they undo this blockage? Because for a lot of them, they actually reach their limits.
Okay. If that is the case, I would say, firstly, you can actually put yourself down, like humble yourself down to talk to someone. Because usually the blockage can be easily removed by you talking out. Okay, talking out doesn't mean that you're being vulnerable, but it just shows that you are humble enough to ask. That's why humans live in communities, right? That's why we need to humble down ourselves to ask. Okay, but by asking, we are able to hear from different point of views. When we are able to hear from different point of views, which means we are able to look at different point of views. Because a lot of times we only look at one point of view that is right in front of us, right? But however, when we start to humble ourselves down to look, to hear, to listen, to ask, we are able to counter attack the solutions, or rather, sorry, counter attack the situations or the problems in a different angle or much more angle at a much more angle situations, right?
Wow.
Another way is you might want to make a call with me. Let me see where is energy blockage.
Oh yeah, that brings a great point. So I have to humble myself down, and then I have to book a call with Chris. Okay, so if you are watching this episode today and you resonate with some of the concepts that we shared when it comes to energy leadership in your business or career, and you've experienced that, like you cannot work any harder, you cannot work any smarter, you cannot work any longer, and you're like, I don't know where the blockage is, there's a very high chance that it is an energetic blockage, and it probably is a combination of things that we need to look at. Maybe there are some beliefs inside your system. Maybe there's some things that you don't see. Maybe there's some fears that you have. And a lot of times when someone looks at it for you, it is much easier to see. But when you're yourself, running in the forest, sometimes you're too deep in the forest, you can't see the trees. So if it helps, all you need to do wherever you're watching this is you can just drop a hashtag energy in the comments, and then one of us will reach out, make a connection, and we're gonna connect you with Chris Smart and have Chris Smart just have a little so-called look or audit of your energy and find out what is missing, what is going wrong or off in your life that you might not see, because sometimes when it is an invisible block, an energetic block, you keep thinking, it's your portfolio, it's your resume, it's your funnels, it's your thing. But what's inside the thing? Maybe if you have a professional energy coach to, look through your stuff, you might just have one insight, and that one simple shift that you make, whether it's a belief, whether it's a change in your mindset, whether it's something you need to change, I don't know, in your system, in your household, that one thing that you change would create a huge shift in your business, your career, and life. Or you can follow Chris Matt at Instagram, on Instagram at CHRIS as Chris, MA at Matt, .part, that's Chris Matt .part, and at her, follow her, say hello. And Andrea, do you have any questions to ask on energetic leadership?
My question would be, because I heard from Chris Matt that the step is to recognize my worth, identify my value and things like that. I think for myself, it has been a long journey since I start to discover who I am, set my own goals. And I do have some values. I mean, people thank me for some things, but what other ways can I do to actually reinforce this idea of my own value, understanding my own value and recognizing my own value and worth? I think this is quite a personal question for me. So maybe if you can share a little bit on that, that would help me.
Okay. I would say words of affirmations. We are very stingy on words, like words of praise. Everyone like to hear praises for ourselves, or people talking to us and praise us, right? Words of praise is free, okay, but however it works miracles in our life, or in the walks when we are going to discover our self-worth or our values, our self-values. Words of praise. If you are someone who is waiting from word of praise for another person, then why not you give yourself praises? Look into the mirror, just one praises a day. You can slowly see the beauty in yourself and slowly see the self-worth. There is a way that you can easily achieve by you doing it yourself. No need to wait for others to praise you. You praise yourself first. If you can't praise yourself, others will not praise you. Because you have to put yourself outside first, right? When you start praising yourself, then you will start praising on other people. Because praises to you is not anything to be shy or embarrassed about anymore. We are shy, we are embarrassed is because we seldom hear praises. But if you yourself say praises every day, hear praises every day, why is there to be shame or embarrassed? When you are not ashamed or embarrassed about praises, you will start to share these praises with another person. Then you will hear praises from outside. You will hear praises from other people. And this will actually increase your self-worth, your self-value.
Okay, thank you very much. And also gonna book a session of energy diagnosis analysis with you.
Yes,
Okay.
maybe for Chris Matt, you can share a little bit on, let's say if someone comes to you and they say, and just as the example is, oh, okay, my blockage is that I have a lot of, what's the word for it? Either unhappiness or resentment that, oh, so and so, I don't know, wronged me, did something wrong, and it's a blockage and I'm very hurt. Can you maybe describe a little bit on how your energy audit looks like, how it can help me or help this person, and then what will be the outcome of it?
My energy audit will be, yeah, it's just like consultations, like a psychiatric consultations that will get you to talk more, okay? And if there is, it will be high chance that usually I will go by your birth dates and time to see how is your energy flows like, because it's very easy to see from a person's birthday and time on how you started your energy flows, how the energy flow started in you. Okay, whether is it starting with blockages or the energy flows is not smooth enough, you will try to use methods, very simple methods like just the colors that you wear, what color you should wear, what color you shouldn't wear, or what is the amount of colors that you should wear. The amount of colors maybe is like, if you are, if red color helps you, okay, but too much of red might burns you. So having a consultation with me, I will tell you what is the quantity of the amount of colors that you should wear, and it will drastically change your energy flows.
Awesome. So if you comment the hashtag energy or reach out to Chrismat at chrismat.partn on IG, we will do an energy audit for you. We'll look at your birth time and date, and we'll look at the colors of that comes with it, that is in your business, that is what you wear, and do an overall energy audit to see what's really creating these blockages and what might be some things you've missed. And when you remove them, you will find yourself achieving more and more of the what we call energetic flow, where you feel better, your career is progressing, your business is moving, and you'll be a happy man or a woman. So I think that's it for our first pilot episode on business energetics. Stay tuned for our next episode, and we're going to upload this over at our YouTube channels. So if you're watching this down the road and you have a question, a comment, or feedback, feel free to reach out to any one of us and we will address them for you. Until next time, I am Sean, and
I'm Chrismat.
I'm Andrea.
we will see you in the next episode of Business Energetics. Bye-bye.